Hello everyone and welcome to another Big Ambitions video. Our hardcore series has not stopped. In our last video we've done a few tweaks and changes that should definitely help us in the long run. And in today's video I'm planning something different. So let's get started. So I was just looking at the rivals here and trying to figure out what is their recipe for their own success. Because as we know, the devs have done quite a few changes and quality of life calibrations, so to speak, which involved reducing the aggressiveness and profitability of the electronic stores. Whereas not so long ago, electronic stores would have been the pinnacle of making a lot of money. Nowadays, they're not doing that much anymore. They have been impacted quite significantly. And one way that I can show you this is just by looking at the rival screen. Fortunately and unfortunately at the same time, when we started this series, those changes were not implemented yet. So the strategy was pretty straightforward. Electronic stores were the way to go. And as you can see here, if we're filtering by weekly income, this is what we used to make. Now, bear in mind that the data here will be a little bit skewed just because, like I said, in the beginning of the series, the changes were not yet implemented in the game. I think in the last 10 to 15 in-game days, the changes have been done, so we can see them here. And for example, we were pretty much doing $780,000 for two of our biggest stores. This one was doing $531,000, and then the rest of them were just trying to reach these numbers. And that was fine, right? We were on the right track. And nowadays, this is what we actually see. So if I'm going to Bizman and I'm filtering by average daily income, the same one that was doing $780,000 is now doing just $100,000. Same for the other one. These two were at the top with $780,000. Now they're just a little bit over $100,000. And there's nothing I can do about it. Is the way the game works. And the thing is, I was looking at the other ones, the other rivals, just to figure out if they are doing something else that might be the reason why our businesses are so heavily impacted. And it turns out they don't. Most of them don't even own an electronic store. And even if they do, it's not the type of business that takes the most of their fleet of businesses, if that makes sense. Like, look at this guy. So Thierry owns supermarkets, a lot of them, and liquor stores. And then he's expanding a little bit in like law firms, but as you can see, he's doing very poorly. Jewelry stores, graphic designer offices. I mean, yeah, it's here and there. But if we filter by weekly income, it's the supermarkets and the restaurants and these kind of like services that are providing the most money to him. The electronic store is not even remotely close to what these guys are doing. And I guess it makes sense, and I think I said this in a previous video as well. You wouldn't expect a supermarket to make less money than a clothing store or than an electronic store. In the grand scheme of things, if you think about it logically, how many people would buy a smartphone every single day compared to how many people would buy food every single day? When you draw the line, I think the supermarkets would realistically be the ones that are making the most money. But it wasn't the case before this update change. So I was looking at Huang as well, and there you go. He has supermarkets. They are doing basically very close to what our electronic stores were doing a long time ago. I mean, yeah, I would say very close. 100,000 difference here. So I think the strategy for reaching this goal that we've set of $100 million and day 365, and we don't have that many days left, is to expand into supermarkets. Because I don't see how our current businesses would be sustainable. I think it's going to be very difficult, and it's almost impossible, I would say, at this stage to reach that figure. But then you look at Audrey, and she has an electronic store and is doing quite all right. Let's see, where is this electronic store located? Oh, it's actually right here in Lower Manhattan. Fair enough, it's 1,000 square meters. Very interesting. $85 million is evaluated at. Okay, yeah, we're not touching that. What about our store. I think this one was also quite large one. Yeah, it's 1,000 square meters. There is something that we are doing that is not as good as the competition. That's the bottom line. Maybe it's the fact that we have so many stores that sell the same thing, but in my opinion, that's the good thing, because then you create kind of a monopoly, and then you force everyone to follow your lead, which is what I was trying to do in a way, but it seems that that's no longer viable. So without further ado, let's have a look at our map here and see what we can do. I think just for testing the waters, it would be ideal if we get an empty building and just start from scratch and making it into a supermarket and decorate it with all the things that are necessary, rather than reconverting one of our electronic stores. Because if the supermarket doesn't perform well, we're basically losing more money than we would have if we just kept it as an electronic store, if that makes sense. So I would rather just rent another building, making it into a supermarket, and then evaluate how good that is. And if it's going well, I'm happy to convert these ones into supermarkets as well. Alright, so let's have a look again at our maps here and see where we can get a suitable retail store. There are a couple in Murray Hill that are 1,000 square meters. This first one is not very promising because it's just 11 traffic index, which means quite poor. But this one here is at 40. So with 40, that's pretty good. Let's see, where would the other supermarkets be? So there's two here, of course, owned by Huang. He's in Midtown and he's the king. Oh, there's another one here right next door to our location that has 40 traffic index. Well, actually it's the same as this one. Maybe we can... No, we cannot. I was gonna say maybe we can buy it at some point, but at 103 million, yeah, that's a little bit out of our budget. And then the rest of them are scattered throughout the garment district. There's quite a few in Murray Hill. That's what worries me. And there are a couple here as well. This one is a small building and I don't really want to use it. It's just 75 square meters and I think it's a waste of time. But this is our best shot, I guess. We have another one here. Let's just get this one. Let's rent it out, start a new business, and it's gonna be a supermarket. And we're gonna call this Fresh Value. I know it's not the most amazing name, but it will do for our purposes here. And just in the meantime, I wanted to add this little funny story. I don't know what happened, but OBS decided to stop recording for whatever reason, and I did not notice this. I got quite far ahead into the build, and unfortunately none of it mattered because it was just not recording. So I'm doing this a second time, and hopefully I don't have to do it a third time. I'm gonna keep my eye on the record button. Anyway, what I was saying is that now that we have this beautiful store, we need to go to the import-export companies, set it up. We don't have any contact details for a supermarket to be operational. So we're gonna go here to the Seaside International, set it as a destination, and go there as quickly as we can. Time is of the essence, and you know how much I like to ensure that our playthroughs and our actions are done in a way that is strategic, and we exhaust every possible angle from every single day before we click that sleep button. So let's talk to the manager here quickly, put our guy Zachary in relation with him. There we go. A nice business partnership has just started. So what we need next, we need to speak with AJ Peterson and get some furniture for this place. So we're gonna make a delivery on a Saturday. I'm gonna go with 2 checkout counters just because this place is quite large, it's 1,000 square meters, and it makes sense. 2 cleaning stations should be enough, and we can get a couple of cabinets with drawers. Some product signs, always appreciated. They add a nicer visual to the place. You know, you can just hang them from the ceiling or put them on the walls, and then you can select one of the products that you're selling and you're good to go. What else? We can get some storage shelves, very important. Let's get 8 of those. 4 stack of shopping baskets and another product sign for the walls. Let's get 4 of these. I think that would be a nice one. And then 2 for the aisles. So, well, 2 different ones, so 4 in total. And I think we're good from AJ Peterson. So Saturday at 10 o'clock, that's good. Let's speak with Square Appliances. See if we can get a delivery from these guys as well. We need some wooden stands for sure and some flat ones here. Let's go with 24 right from the bat. Ice cream counters, 2 of them I think would be a nice addition. Some industrial freezers, 4 of them. Industrial fridges. What else? Drinks fridge? Sure, maybe. Yeah, 2 should be enough. Salad bars. Let's get 4 of these. Scales. Yeah. And then some product crates. Because we have the stands, but we don't have the actual product crates, so it's kind of redundant, right? So we can only get 10. We can... Actually, no, because I'm just overcomplicating things. So we can get 10, we need 14 more, and then we're done. Actually, be 18, because this one counts as well. So let's place the order in the afternoon. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.